Hey you all, God bless you and welcome to Mike Reed Outdoors. Thanks a whole lot for watching. I'm out here today just doing a little scouting in this particular area right here. This looks like a good place to come where there's not going to be a whole lot of competition to try to kill a deer. I'm looking for a pretty nice buck this year. I've seen some, had them on the game camera and everything else. Now I'm not getting anything on my game camera except some little bitty spikes and does. So I'm looking for a different place, and I'm going to take you along and let you see how I sort of look around and see if the area is good enough for me to come in here and take a chance on sitting all day or whatever, stalking to kill a deer. That's a very good sign that there's some some whitetail buck in the area. And the reason I know that this is a fresh rub, although it's dry, is the shavings are laying on top of the fresh fallen leaves. So this thing right here is a couple of weeks old. I'm out here today looking for some buck sign. You know, I can kill does all day long, but sometimes you just get in the mood to get you a nice buck. So I'm out here today just looking for some sign of whether or not there's a buck using in this area. So let's take a good look around at this. All right, you all right there, that big old white oak tree right there, that's a really good place to hunt at this particular time. During this time of bow season, this white oak is being picked just like deer's eating popcorn. It's one of their favorite foods, and they will be somewhere in this neighborhood right here, just hanging out right here while it's daylight. And you know, if I don't scare one off, we might see one. I hope we do. But that white oak tree right there is really a good source of protein for these deer this time of the year, along with squirrels and bear and turkey and everything else. But I see the dung here, and I see this side of the ridge right here just being ripped apart by the feet of the deer, the hooves of the deer, looking for these acorns. Now you all, I'm way up in the mountain right here, but you can still hear the interstate noise up on the mountains like this. When it's really quiet, you can hear the interstate noise going through here, and that sometimes makes it difficult to hear a deer, a whitetail, coming through the leaves. And they're pretty hard to hear anyway if they're not running. A deer can tiptoe right through these dry leaves without making any noise. You'll notice that it doesn't take those things long to sprout. See how that sprout's coming out on that white oak acorn right there? That thing's trying to grow another tree before it gets in the belly of some animal. And there's just plenty of pipsissewa out here in this section of the woods too. Check that out right there. Remember the video I did on pipsissewa? Now you all, my favorite way to hunt these ridges like this right here. This is a very steep ridge. You can't really get the angle of it on this camera right here, but this ridge is like from here down to the bottom of where it starts up the other way. It's like about 150 yards. Now, I like to hunt right on the edge and look down into that valley right there and catch the deer coming down off of the other ridge into the valley. And when you're in the thick woods like this, it's really hard to see whitetail till they get right up on you. Sometimes they can walk literally right up on you. So I like to get up here on top or right in the middle of the ridge. Right now my scent is being taken down the mountain. The cool air is taking my scent down the mountain. So a deer coming in from that direction down there could smell me. But one coming sneaking down this way probably won't smell me, because the air is coming down this way. So I'm just right on the face of a really high ridge right here. And with all the white oaks and all the other oak trees that's here, this would make a perfect place to set up to kill yourself a whitetail. Like I say, that gives you a little example of how straight up and down that is right there like that. Literally straight down, and then that other ridge goes up just like that. I've killed lots of deer that way right there, coming down on that side of that ridge over there down in here to feed on these acorns. See right there where a fox or something has dug up a bee's nest and ate all the yellow jackets. I'm glad they got them. I was going to show you the hickory tree right there. The animals has done finished up them hickory nuts. Either the squirrels got them, I don't see where they cut any of them. So when they fall off, the deer, the whitetail will eat these hickory nuts just like eating candy. And I'm standing right on a main trail right here right now. That's being, looks to me like it's being used every day. Hey you all, I'll just throw this in here. You see those little mushrooms right there, those little small puff balls? Those little puff balls are going to turn dry here in just a few days. They're white at the present time. But when those little puff balls right there turn dry, they're going to have that dust in them, and that dust is inside that little puff ball is an antifungal. You can put that right on a fungus and help get rid of the fungus. And that's what they look like before they get dry. That's a puffball mushroom. Solid white on the inside, but when it dries, it'll turn to puff. It'll turn to dust. All right, you all. Remember what I just told you? That right there is antifungal. Coming right out of that puffball right there. Sending up smoke signals. Now I don't know whether or not this tree produced any cucumbers this year, but that right there is a cucumber tree. And if it does produce cucumbers, squirrels and deer and birds will consume them things about as fast as they fall. Give you a shot of the bark of that thing right there. And by the way, these things you guys can get 80 inches through the bottom if they're left to grow. These trees were used by wagon makers and carpenters who were building houses and everything else because the wood is very light and lasts or weathers really, really good. Now you all right here in this dip right here, in this little swag, I think I'm gonna make just a fake scrape. I've made these things ever since I've deer hunted, and I'll come back with just a little bit of scent and put it in this thing right here and make a fresh looking deer scrape. I have killed several good bucks doing that. Now you all, since I'm right here in the middle of a laurel thicket, I will hunt these laurel thickets because deer like to bed down in them. But I like to get to the laurel thicket before the deer do. So from the laurel thicket I can see some of the open woods in a circle, not behind me, but all the way up in front there. I can see a white-tailed deer coming to this bedding area right here, and I can be in here waiting on him, especially if I've already got that fake buck scrape right over there set up that they can scent or smell. Now there's a track right there that I guarantee you was made this morning. Look how wide that track is right there, but that old big boy come up there and his toes splayed when he hit the dirt right there. And I can tell he's pretty much an older deer because the point of that hoof is rounded off. And when they're rounded off, it's because they're an older deer and they use those things for digging all kind of different stuff, just not walking on. perfect place to sit there and watch the open woods. Definitely out of sight right there. That's a pretty good sized patch. That looks like that's about 200 foot wide and about maybe 60 or 70 feet the other direction. And shelter you from a little bit of the rain too. Well, hey you all, good luck this year. Every one of you that's going out to go deer hunting, I hope you kill you a nice buck this year. If you don't kill you a nice buck, just get you some deer meat to put in the freezer or can for the winter time. Until next time, God bless you, and thanks for watching Mike Reed Outdoors. Have a great day.